feeling like spring outside, I decided to decorate and build onto a little house. This is based off of the mouse shell challenge done by Lilsimsie, and I didn't really submit this to be viewed or for it to be toured or anything. I just like this small concept so I could make a small little springtime home, and I had a lot of fun with this. I struggled with the porch that you'll see here in a few moments. I was trying to make a wraparound porch, but I just couldn't decide how I was going to roof it. It's like, should I leave it open? Should I roof it? Should I cover it? Should I not? It was just a big struggle for me. And I chose the new base game windows because I thought it looked okay. And whenever I was choosing the wallpaper, I found that a little difficult too. So it's not perfect, but I did have fun with it. So when you're seeing this video, it's going to be going up on Thursday. I was wanting a little extra episode because it's spring outside and I'm sure people are looking at springtime homes. Well, I should say it's springtime here in the US. So I just wanted to put this out here, and I went with a blue Suburban because I couldn't find any other colors that I liked really that it would go pretty well. And I always have problems trying to match the porch with the stairs, and I think at one point I just gave up. So here's whenever I'm trying to figure out how I want to roof the wraparound porch. And I was like, should I just do like lattice work again, or what should I do? And I think I settled with something like this, and it looks a little bit weird, but it's fine. I think it's all right. Again, it wasn't meant to be perfect by any means, but again, I just had fun making it. And who really plays with the roof up? I mean, nobody. Remember in one of the other Sims games where there's like automatic roofing? Man, those were the days. So my idea for this house was it was going to be kind of like a country home, blue suburban-y type of home. And a little bit later, you'll see that I made some gardening areas, and it just screams spring and summer because you're outside, you're planting, you're just having fun. And I believe that I built this whenever it was still really cold outside. So it was just like, it was shown on the radar that it was going to be nice and sunshiny and beautiful. And so I was like, oh, I need to build this house because I need it to, match what's going on outside, right? Because it seems like you guys like the videos that kind of matches the weather. So I just wanted to make that. And I also landscaped, which I know that looks a little wonky, but that's fine. It's fun. It's not supposed to be perfect because, whenever you're out in the country, things don't always go according to plan and things don't always look beautiful all the time. It's unique. That's what makes it fun, uniqueness of it. This house is a 1-bedroom, 1-bath, and it's a relatively open floor plan, as you'll soon see. But right now we're working on the backyard and the fencing. And I did do a back porch, but most of this landscaping and outdoor activities is just planting, is farming. So because it looks like you're on this huge lot and you have this small but nice home, and all that you really are worried about are your crops and just going in and outside to water your crops. You might consider getting bigger animals in the future, but right now you're just primarily focused on the plants and surviving that way. When I was doing the landscaping of this, it really started to come alive for me because typically landscaping overwhelms me, but then whenever I was working on the landscape, it's just like, okay, now I can really tell a story about what's going on here. It's just like they're out in the country, they have this little bench seat that they can, just sit and read books or just sit and relax, or if you have a lazy sim, they can fall asleep anywhere. And I also made a little pond, and it's been a minute since I've messed with these kind of terrain tools, so it looks kind of weird, and I hope it works. I haven't really played with it yet, and perhaps I will in the future in maybe one of my Let's Plays, or I don't know, just because. But I'm hoping that it works okay. It's just like a little little pond where you can fish. So I guess you do have other creatures on your lot. It's just you fish them. And I thought this was a perfect place to put some plots down for planting and gardening. And I added those little sprinklers in there to kind of help with the process so you don't have to worry about that all the time. And I did remember a trash can, so there's that. And I had to redo that whole path so many different times because it just looked weird, which that's okay because, again, things aren't always perfect. So I added some more landscaping details underneath those plots because I just kind of was wanting to make it look a little bit more realistic and go from there. And yeah, so then I added these little pillars on the side just to give it a little bit more of a sharper look to it. And here is whenever I was trying to roof the back of the house. I was wanting it to kind of match the front, but I couldn't figure out for the longest time how to put, and then I figured it out, how to put flowers on top. So I was like, oh, that would look really pretty, but I had to do that first and then remove the ceiling so it kind of looks cute that way. And I was hoping I was able to do that, and I did, because I thought that you'd had to have like some sort of tool mod or something, which there's a lot of people that do have that, but I was just like, I don't even know how to use that, and I don't want to mess it up. So, and I want my builds to be functional, not necessarily just something that's different creatively. And so I finally figured it out, and so I decided to do it on this roof because I still wanted the lattice work, but I wanted the pretty flowers just to give it a little bit more of a springtime look. Realize that most of this video is me trying to landscape, and then we finally get into the house. I was like, oh, I need to do a floor plan. I need to figure this out. And I just made a simple kitchen and a simple bedroom. It's not anything fancy, and I made a little area where you could put your, like, the laundry, just in case you have it. I thought about doing outdoor laundry, but I mean, to an extent, we're country folks, right? Or if you have a sim here that is, and it's like, nah, maybe we're modern and we actually have a washer and dryer because you don't want your clothes smelling like countryside. That's not my preferred smell. So it's a little bit of a hybrid, a mix of things. And I had to follow the blue Suburban, or even though it looks a little bit more teal. And I needed to add some tile to that. And I put the table there just to save some space or just fill up the space, because I was looking at it and I was like, well, I need to fill the space because most of the problems in my build is not filling it enough. Even though I think that it's full, it's not. Because it needs to, at least for me, it needs to look like it's lived in, or it's just very bare and kind of boring. So I was trying to make this as pretty as possible with a little bit of a girlyish flair to it. So not all the colors match all the time, but I wanted the room to be especially different, kind of pinks and purples and blues and just a little bit more girly. And I stuck with the yellow theme that matches a rug for the kitchen. I also matched that to the washer and dryer. And I tied it in with this blue couch and this little puff ball or puff thing. And I think that overall it looks okay. And yes, I blocked the window. Well, no, I didn't. I moved it because it just looked weird. And I thought this was a little bit more realistic. And plus, it doesn't matter what it looks like from the outside, right? You're not really looking at that. But I think that I had the most fun with this build because it was smaller and it was easier to decorate. And I do wish that in The Sims 4 that they will add more clutter items that are more realistic. Because it's like, how many times can you use a pear picture, to put on shelves? But I did have a great time with this little challenge that was made by Lilsimsie. And I hope that you guys enjoy it. I know that I had fun making it. And for the bathroom, I was kind of tired at this point. So I was just like, okay, we're just going to shove things in there. And it's like, who cares if they're gonna look at you because, in the bathroom, because you're out in the country. No one's really gonna see you anyway. You're gonna see foxes and whatever. But that's a build, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.